Okay, so Cole has submitted a steward's review into race 2. Either way, lap 1, final chicane, going in. 66 is the car that they're talking about here. So in this instance, 66 is currently ahead of Lloyd, going down into the braking zone of the final chicane. Cole has got a car just coming down on his outside here, but this car doesn't really get in the way. Now, Cole says that 66 basically closed the door and put him off the circuit. So we'll watch it from a couple of angles going forward. So we're going to go into the braking zone here. So as we go in, Cole is rather good on the brakes and gains a lot of track, and the gap's just not there. Now, the only point that Cole starts to even remotely get alongside 66 is on the corner entry. By this point, you can clearly see, because 66 comes off the brakes quite early to make the corner entry, you can already see 66 is already coming through and following Lloyd into the gap here. Now, Cole is in full control of his car. At no point does Cole lose the brakes, so it's not exactly like Cole lost braking. You can see that there's a bit of fight on the wheel to control the car, but at no point is Cole alongside 66, and 66 just doesn't have to give the room. It's always the rule, regardless of any series, of the car behind making the move safely, because they can judge the situation a lot better. In this instance, it's just sad to say that it wasn't judged quite correctly here by Cole. At no point, realistically, I just noticed the random person on the lid. Who's that? I don't know who that is, but that's quite funny. Sorry, that distracted me. Anyway, we can see at... Oh, balls. Ah, here we go. Luckily I got it back. So we can see at no point was that was just never on. It was just never on. Like, the gap was never there. Yeah, going into this point here, but you can see the car positioning of 66. He's got, in the nicest way, the better line through the chicane. Skyring, Burridge, Lloyd. Man, I can't believe we have to click through all of these cars just to find 66. There they are. But 66 is on the racing line here. Like, this is the line that I would say the majority of the field would take if they weren't being overtaken. And I think it's just, sadly, a misjudgment by Cole. And yeah, I can understand why Cole feels aggrieved at the same time, because at the end of the day, this is hard racing. It's only a 10-minute race. It's always aggressive, regardless. But yeah, that was just never on. 66 didn't really need to leave any room. I would understand it if going all the way through the braking zone they were side by side, but you are literally talking the apex of the corner, and you can kind of see where Cole just puts a little bit more juice on just there to try and dive into the corner, and it's just never ever going to happen. You can see the car positioning, you can see the entry into the corner and through. It's not a penalty to be given to 66, and you know, realistically, because of the damage that has been done technically by Cole, 66 loses 2 positions, but then Cole also loses positions, as I mentioned on stream. So there's no penalty need to be given to Cole, but it's not a penalty to 66. Regardless of if it was the other way around, if this was 66 that dived down the inside very, very late into Cole, you know, again, I wouldn't be saying, you know, let's say that this was Cole and this was 66, I wouldn't be saying, oh, Cole is getting a penalty because he closed the door on 66. It was just never on. It was just misjudging into the braking zone, and you're talking there, like, you're talking literally 5 yards, if that, into the corner entry. It's the move's just not on, and even at this point, you're talking 4 inches alongside is not enough. You need to be right. If you were right here going into this corner, 100% that's on 66. But if you're, because you're back here, you're nowhere near alongside, it's not 66's fault. Technically, it is on the car behind, so it is technically your error, and you know, I'm not going to give you a penalty for it, because at the end of the day, you lost out as much as 66 did. that's that.